Have you ever felt like things were going wrong, but couldn't figure out why? Like you're swimming against an invisible current that keeps pulling you back? Sometimes it's not the obvious attacks that hold you down, but the subtle, silent sabotage happening behind your back. It's not the loud enemy that's the problem. It's the one you don't see coming. The one who pretends to be on your side while secretly planting seeds of doubt, spreading misinformation, or quietly standing in your way. As the old saying goes, beware the wolf in sheep's clothing. But how do you protect yourself when the danger isn't in plain sight? Today we're diving into 6 powerful strategies that will help you uncover and defend against those hidden forces working to sabotage your success. If you're ready to rise above the invisible obstacles and take control of your destiny, hit that subscribe button. Let's equip you with the tools to stop hidden enemies in their tracks and make sure your path stays clear and strong. 1. Trust actions, not words. When dealing with hidden enemies and silent sabotage, one of the most critical lessons to internalize is that actions always speak louder than words. Saboteurs often mask their true intentions behind eloquent language, empty praise, or promises they never intend to keep. These individuals are well aware of the power of words to distract and deceive. They tell you what you want to hear, reassuring you of their support and loyalty, while their actions betray their true intentions. It's easy to get caught up in what people say, especially when their words align with your desires or expectations. But if you focus solely on their words, you may find yourself blindsided by betrayal. The key to protecting yourself from silent sabotage is to evaluate people by their actions, not by what they say. Hidden enemies are rarely direct. They will offer verbal reassurances, act like your greatest supporter, and make promises of assistance or commitment. But when you look closer, you'll notice the inconsistencies. Maybe they miss crucial meetings, delay important decisions, or subtly undermine your efforts in ways that are hard to pinpoint but impossible to ignore. The truth lies in what people do over time, not in the promises they make on the spot. Consider how often people tell you one thing but do another. It could be a colleague who claims to support your project but never follows through when you need their help. It could be a friend who speaks highly of you but repeatedly cancels plans or fails to show up when you need them. These subtle, seemingly insignificant actions are often the early indicators of sabotage. Someone who truly supports you will back up their words with consistent, reliable actions. If their actions repeatedly contradict their words, it's a sign that their loyalty is superficial at best, and at worst, they might be quietly undermining you. Marcus Aurelius, the ancient philosopher-emperor, reflected deeply on human nature and how words often mislead while actions reveal truth. He emphasized that we must learn to see through the facade of speech and focus on the underlying patterns of behavior. Saboteurs often bank on your instinct to trust their words. After all, it's easier to manipulate someone who takes words at face value. But if you train yourself to observe actions instead, you'll be far less susceptible to manipulation. Start by paying attention to what people do when it truly matters. Are they consistent? Do they deliver on their promises? Are their actions aligned with the words they speak? Trusting actions over words doesn't mean you need to be paranoid or distrustful of everyone around you. It means sharpening your discernment and allowing people's behavior to guide your judgment. Over time, patterns emerge that are impossible to ignore. Someone who constantly makes excuses, avoids responsibility, or fails to follow through on their commitments is likely not someone you can count on. In contrast, those who take concrete steps to help, even in small ways, are showing you through their actions that they genuinely care about your success. In any area of life, whether professional or personal, actions are the truest reflection of a person's intent. By trusting actions rather than words, you safeguard yourself from those who would exploit your trust. You'll begin to see who's truly in your corner and who's merely playing a role for their own benefit. This clarity allows you to distance yourself from the silent saboteurs and surround yourself with individuals who are aligned with your goals and values. Protecting yourself from hidden enemies starts by observing, not just listening and letting actions be your guide. 2. Observe patterns, not promises. One of the most effective ways to protect yourself from hidden sabotage is by observing patterns in behavior, not promises. Promises are easy to make, especially for those who want to earn your trust without delivering on their commitments. Saboteurs rely on their ability to promise things they never intend to fulfill. Whether it's a colleague who promises to support you in your project or a friend who vows to be there when you need them, these promises can be alluring and reassuring. However, what really reveals a person's true intentions isn't what they say in the moment. It's the patterns of behavior they exhibit over time. A person's behavior patterns are like a roadmap to their character. Saboteurs often operate in cycles. They make grand promises when they sense you're starting to doubt them. Then they fail to follow through when it's time to take action. This cycle can repeat itself endlessly if you focus solely on their promises. Over time, this inconsistency becomes their defining trait, but it can be hard to spot if you're blinded by their words. Marcus Aurelius once wrote about the importance of understanding the difference between appearances and reality, emphasizing that you should trust only what consistently proves to be true. The same principle applies here. Don't be swayed by the appearance of commitment. Observe whether their actions match their promises over time. When someone is trying to sabotage you silently, they won't be obvious about it. They may offer vague excuses for their lack of follow-through or conveniently forget the promises they made. They'll frame their failure to deliver as circumstantial, making it seem like it's not their fault. But if you observe the pattern, you'll notice that these circumstances always seem to arise when they're needed most. A promise to help on a project suddenly falls through because of a last-minute emergency, or their commitment to backing you up in a difficult situation conveniently dissolves when the time comes to act. These are clear signs of a pattern of behavior meant to undermine you while keeping their sabotage under the radar. By focusing on patterns rather than isolated incidents, you gain a clearer picture of who you can truly rely on. For example, if someone has repeatedly made promises but failed to meet deadlines, provide help, or deliver results, you're seeing a pattern of unreliability. It's easy to give people the benefit of the doubt when they fail once or twice, but when their actions follow a recurring pattern, it's time to reassess their role in your life. Patterns never lie, even when promises do. It's important to remember that patterns don't just apply to failures, but also to positive behaviors. If someone consistently supports you without asking for anything in return, or continually shows up in meaningful ways, their actions speak volumes about their loyalty and integrity. These positive patterns are just as valuable to observe as they help you identify who your real allies are. Marcus Aurelius believed that human behavior, over time, reveals the truth about one's character. While promises can serve as a way to manipulate or deceive in the short term, long-term patterns offer undeniable proof of a person's true intentions. Hidden enemies may be able to cover their tracks for a while, but if you look closely at how they behave repeatedly, you'll start to notice discrepancies between what they promise and what they deliver. In conclusion, to defend yourself from silent sabotage, don't get caught up in the allure of promises. Pay attention to how people act consistently over time. Whether they're failing to meet expectations or showing you signs of genuine support, patterns of behavior are a much more reliable indicator of a person's true nature. By training yourself to observe these patterns, you empower yourself to see through hidden agendas and protect your progress from those who seek to undermine it from the shadows. 4. Keep emotions in check and remain rational. In the face of hidden sabotage, it's easy to let emotions take control. Whether it's frustration from feeling undermined or anger when you realize someone is working against you, emotional reactions can cloud your judgment. Saboteurs often count on this. They want you to react impulsively, to lose your composure, and to make decisions based on emotion rather than reason. When you act out of emotion, especially negative emotions like anger or frustration, you become easier to manipulate and your perspective becomes distorted. That's why Marcus Aurelius, in his meditations, constantly reminded himself to keep emotions in check and remain rational. Staying calm and centered in the face of sabotage allows you to see situations clearly and take measured, effective action. One of the primary goals of a silent saboteur is to provoke emotional responses. They might subtly criticize you, plant seeds of doubt, or create small obstacles that frustrate you over time. These actions are meant to get under your skin, erode your patience, and eventually cause you to react in ways that are counterproductive. For instance, if you allow their sabotage to make you feel constantly anxious or angry, you might lash out at the wrong people, damage your reputation, or make rash decisions. Marcus Aurelius understood that in moments of emotional turmoil, we're least able to think clearly or act in our own best interest. That's why he urged the practice of STOIC calm, a mindset that allows you to maintain control over your reactions, even when external forces are trying to destabilize you. Remaining rational is the antidote to emotional manipulation. It involves taking a step back from your immediate feelings and evaluating the situation objectively. Ask yourself, what's really happening here? Is the issue as big as it feels, or is my emotional response making it seem worse than it is? A saboteur might exaggerate their influence over you, trying to convince you that their interference is greater than it actually is. But by staying calm and thinking rationally, you can see the situation for what it truly is, not what it feels like in the heat of the moment. You can identify the facts, separate them from your feelings, and make decisions based on logic and clarity rather than emotional impulses. Marcus Aurelius often wrote about how things only have the power we give them. Sabotage may affect you, but how much it impacts your mindset and actions is up to you. By keeping your emotions in check, you strip away the power that saboteurs hold over you. When you stay calm in the face of their interference, they lose the ability to push you into reactive, self-sabotaging behavior. This rational approach also makes it easier for you to strategize against sabotage effectively. You'll be better equipped to plan your next steps, identify patterns of sabotage, and protect yourself from further manipulation. Staying rational also means not jumping to conclusions or assuming the worst in every situation. While silent saboteurs do exist, not every obstacle or challenge is the result of malice. By keeping a level head, you avoid misreading situations and falsely accusing someone of sabotage. Marcus Aurelius believed in examining all possibilities and not rushing to judgment based on emotion alone. Taking a rational approach helps you discern the difference between genuine sabotage and simple misunderstandings or human error. This way, you avoid burning bridges unnecessarily or creating conflict where none needs to exist. Finally, keeping emotions in check allows you to preserve your energy and focus on what truly matters, your goals and progress. Saboteurs want to distract you, to pull you into emotional battles that drain your time and attention. But when you remain rational, you don't give them that power. You stay focused on your path, unbothered by their attempts to derail you. Marcus Aurelius taught that inner peace comes from within, and no external force, not even a hidden enemy, can take that from you if you don't allow it. By staying calm and rational, you protect your peace, maintain control over your actions, and ensure that hidden sabotage doesn't have the power to disrupt your journey. In the end, remaining rational in the face of sabotage is a shield that keeps you grounded, clear-headed, and in control. When you master your emotions, you protect yourself from the manipulative tactics of hidden enemies and set yourself on a path of resilience and focused success. 5. Avoid oversharing. Personal details. One of the most powerful tools a silent saboteur can use against you is the information you freely give them. Often, we assume that those around us, friends, colleagues, or even acquaintances, are trustworthy, and that sharing personal details with them will foster closer connections. However, in the wrong hands, your personal information can be twisted, manipulated, and used as a weapon against you. People who seek to sabotage you often do so subtly, and one of their most effective methods is using your own words against you. Marcus Aurelius would advise caution in what you reveal, reminding you that not everyone has your best interests at heart. Saboteurs thrive on information because it gives them insight into your vulnerabilities, ambitions, and challenges. They can use this knowledge to exploit your weaknesses, undermine your efforts, or create doubt in others about your abilities. For instance, if you share that you're struggling with a particular task or feeling uncertain about an upcoming project, someone with ill intentions might spread these concerns to others, framing you as incompetent or unprepared. They might twist your words to make it seem like you're unfit for a leadership role, or suggest that your struggles are more significant than they truly are. By oversharing, you unintentionally arm these individuals with the tools they need to quietly sabotage your progress. Marcus Aurelius believed that a key part of wisdom was understanding when to speak and when to remain silent. In a world where people's motives are not always transparent, keeping certain aspects of your life private is a form of self-protection. Avoiding oversharing doesn't mean being secretive or distrusting of everyone around you. It means being mindful of what you reveal and to whom. You must gauge the trustworthiness of those in your circle before divulging personal information, especially details that could be used against you. Not everyone needs to know your plans, your challenges, or your personal life. Selectively sharing with those who have earned your trust helps safeguard you from hidden enemies who might be looking for opportunities to exploit your openness. Furthermore, oversharing can also lead to unintentional self-sabotage. The more personal details you share, the more you expose yourself to others' opinions, judgments, and interference. People may offer unsolicited advice or critique, which can plant seeds of doubt and insecurity. In this way, even well-meaning individuals can indirectly sabotage your confidence and decision-making abilities. Marcus Aurelius would suggest that keeping your personal ambitions and struggles to yourself, or sharing them only with a trusted few, allows you to maintain focus and clarity. You're less likely to be influenced by external opinions that don't align with your goals or values. Additionally, when you avoid oversharing, you retain control over your narrative. Hidden enemies often look for ways to misrepresent you or paint you in a negative light. The less they know, the fewer opportunities they have to distort your words or actions. This doesn't mean you have to isolate yourself or be overly guarded, but rather, it encourages you to think carefully before revealing sensitive information. By controlling the flow of information about your personal life, you reduce the likelihood of sabotage and ensure that your progress is driven by your own efforts, not hindered by others' manipulation of your vulnerabilities. Marcus Aurelius believed in living a life of quiet strength, one where you know yourself well, but don't feel the need to constantly disclose your thoughts, struggles, or plans to the world. This approach fosters inner peace, as you're not constantly seeking validation or approval from others. It also serves as a defense mechanism against those who may wish to undermine you. When people are left in the dark about your personal challenges or future goals, they have less power to interfere or sabotage your path. In conclusion, avoiding oversharing personal details is a crucial strategy for protecting yourself from silent sabotage. It empowers you to maintain control over your narrative, shield your vulnerabilities, and prevent others from using your words against you. As Marcus Aurelius would counsel, exercise discernment in what you reveal, sharing only with those who have proven themselves to be trustworthy. In doing so, you guard against hidden enemies and create a stronger foundation for your personal and professional growth, free from the risk of manipulation or exploitation. 6. Stay vigilant but calm, never paranoid. Remaining vigilant without falling into paranoia is one of the most challenging yet essential skills for protecting yourself from hidden enemies. Silent sabotage, by its very nature, is subtle and insidious. Saboteurs don't make their intentions obvious. Instead, they operate in the shadows, slowly chipping away at your progress. The key to protecting yourself from this type of behavior is staying alert, watching for inconsistencies or patterns of undermining, but doing so from a place of calm rather than fear. Marcus Aurelius would advise that while it's crucial to be aware of your surroundings and the people in them, it's equally important not to let this awareness turn into suspicion or constant anxiety. There's a fine line between vigilance and paranoia, and walking it successfully is essential to maintaining your peace of mind. Vigilance is about being observant and mindful. It means paying attention to the dynamics of your relationships and noticing when things seem off. Are there subtle signs that someone's behavior is undermining you? Do they consistently diminish your accomplishments, steer conversations away from your successes, or create small obstacles in your path? Staying vigilant involves recognizing these patterns and understanding when they might signal something more than mere coincidence. But Marcus Aurelius would emphasize that vigilance should not consume you. Paranoia, on the other hand, is an exaggerated sense of suspicion that makes you see threats where they may not exist. Living in a constant state of paranoia can harm your mental health, leading to stress, burnout, and damaged relationships. Paranoia causes you to lose trust in everyone, isolating you and preventing meaningful connections. Stoic philosophy teaches that we should approach life with a calm, rational mindset, and this is especially true when dealing with hidden enemies. Marcus Aurelius often wrote about the importance of maintaining tranquility in the face of challenges. The more composed you remain, the clearer your thinking will be. Saboteurs thrive on creating chaos, hoping you'll become emotionally reactive or lose your focus. They might try to sow seeds of doubt, stir up unnecessary conflict, or create scenarios where you feel overwhelmed and vulnerable. However, if you stay calm and refuse to let fear take over, you deny them the opportunity to manipulate you. By keeping your emotions in check, you maintain control over the situation and are better able to spot and respond to sabotage with reason rather than emotion. Being calm doesn't mean being passive. It means taking action when necessary, but doing so from a place of thoughtfulness. Marcus Aurelius would advise that when you suspect sabotage, don't rush to confront or accuse someone without solid evidence. Instead, observe closely, gather information, and wait for clarity. Patience is a key element of vigilance. Hidden enemies will eventually reveal themselves if you stay watchful without overreacting. By approaching situations calmly, you protect yourself from making rash decisions or alienating people who may actually be your allies. Remaining vigilant also means being aware of how your own behavior might be interpreted. Sometimes a person's actions might seem suspicious, but they could simply be acting out of their own insecurities or misunderstandings, rather than intentional sabotage. Marcus Aurelius believed in giving people the benefit of the doubt until proven otherwise. Before jumping to conclusions, ask yourself if there's another explanation for their behavior. Could it be that their actions are unintentional or rooted in personal issues that have nothing to do with you? This perspective keeps you balanced and prevents you from slipping into paranoia. In the end, vigilance is about balance. being alert to the possibility of sabotage without letting it dominate your thoughts. Marcus Aurelius understood that the mind is the most powerful tool we possess, and by keeping it steady, we are able to navigate even the most challenging situations with grace and clarity. Stay vigilant by observing the people around you and noticing patterns of behavior, but always from a place of calm, rationality, and confidence. Saboteurs rely on your overreaction or inability to see the bigger picture, but when you stay level-headed and maintain a calm perspective, you strip them of their power. Protect yourself from hidden enemies by being watchful, but never allow fear or paranoia to dictate your actions or disrupt your peace. As we come full circle, let's revisit the question that set this journey in motion. Are you being silently sabotaged? Perhaps now you see that the hidden obstacles in your path weren't just accidents, but deliberate actions, subtle manipulations by those who wish to see you falter. But here you stand, stronger and wiser, ready to take back control of your life. You're no longer at the mercy of unseen forces. You now have the tools to spot sabotage, protect your peace, and defend your future. The power to change your narrative is in your hands. So the question is, what will you do with this knowledge? Don't just close this video and walk away. Take the first step toward protecting your energy and standing firm against those who seek to undermine you. Set your boundaries. Trust actions, not words. The world won't change until you do. Before you go, I want to leave you with this. Are you brave enough to step forward and challenge the hidden forces that have been holding you back? You've seen the path. Now it's time to walk it. Remember, the battle isn't just about resisting sabotage. It's about mastering your own mind. Just like the sculptor chisels away at stone to reveal a masterpiece, you hold the chisel to shape your own life. What masterpiece will you reveal? Imagine a future where you're free from the sabotage of others, where every challenge is an opportunity, and you are the master of your fate. That future is within reach, but it begins with you. This may be the end of this video, but your journey has just begun. Keep questioning, keep exploring, and most importantly, keep guarding your mind against those who wish to steer you astray. You've taken the first steps, but the path of self-mastery stretches far beyond this moment. Walk it with courage, clarity, and conviction. Before you leave, reflect on what you've learned. How will you apply these lessons to protect yourself going forward? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your insights might just help someone else uncover the hidden sabotage in their life. And if you found value in this, don't forget to like and subscribe. Let me leave you with this question. Are you ready to live fully, with your eyes wide open to the truth?